What if I told you Disney almost made Zootopia a dystopian nightmare, where predators wore shock collars to stay civilized?
Get your popsicle.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Zootopia could have been completely different, darker, riskier, and way more emotional. Disney deleted dozens of scenes, scrapping an entire plot where predators were controlled with shock collars. Today, we're diving into the wildest scenes Disney erased from Zootopia, and some of these might change how you see the whole film. Before we got the Zootopia, we know a colorful city with slick comedy and social themes. There was a completely different version in the works. We're talking about dozens of deleted scenes, rewrites, and cut concepts that almost took this movie in a much darker direction. Originally, Nick Wilde, not Judy, was the main character. And predators? Yeah, they weren't just mistrusted. They were forced to wear tame collars, shock devices that zapped them if they got too emotional. This early plot showed a society built on fear and control, where predators were second-class citizens and prey ran everything. It was bold, it was brutal, and it was too much for Disney to risk in a family movie. In this video, we're going deep into every major deleted moment. Some are hilarious, some heartbreaking, and others pretty disturbing. Trust me, once you hear these, you'll never look at Zootopia the same way again. Let's start with one of the funniest and weirdest scenes that never made it past early production. In this version, Nick walks into the Elephant Run ice cream shop to get a jumbo cone. But it's not prejudice that stops the elephant from selling it to him, it's the mess. He tells Nick that the large cone is too slippery for anyone, not just a fox. So what does Nick do? He pulls out one of the most over-the-top, ridiculous lies in Disney history. He says the cone isn't for him. It's for his son, who suffers from a tragic-sounding and completely made-up disease called pachydermiopathy, which makes him believe he's an elephant, and it gets better. Nick claims the kid is blind. Oh, and adopted just 30 minutes ago. Also, it's his birthday, and, wait for it, he's dying. This entire scene is Nick stacking lie after lie to manipulate the elephant into giving him what he wants. It's hilarious, but also a little uncomfortable. It shows a slick, shameless version of Nick that's even more morally gray than the one we meet in the final film. Disney likely cut it for being too weird, too manipulative, and way too risky for a kid's movie.
By that predator!
No, he's my friend. We can't even trust our own friend?
This might be the most heartbreaking part of the original Zootopia plot. In the early version of the movie, Nick Wilde wasn't just hustling popsicles. He had a dream, a big one. He wanted to build a secret amusement park just for predators, called Wild Times. The idea? A safe space where predators could finally take off their shock collars and be themselves. The park had it all: scratching posts, climbing walls, howling booths, claw arenas. Everything predators couldn't normally enjoy in public. It was hidden behind a vet clinic, with a secret underground entrance, like something out of a spy movie. Nick tries to get funding from prey-run banks, but every meeting ends in rejection, usually with some awkwardly hilarious prejudice. So he turns to other predators who understand the need. It's inspiring, it's painful, it's very real. Eventually, the authorities discover Wild Times. They raid the place, shut it down, and arrest Nick for organizing an illegal predator gathering. It's not played for comedy, it's tragic. The scene highlights the crushing weight of a society that criminalizes joy for one group while normalizing fear in another. Disney axed this whole subplot when the focus shifted to Judy's arc, but this was once the heart of the original film. If this version had been made, Nick would have been one of the most complex leads in any Disney movie ever. Now here's one of the funniest deleted scenes, and it gave us major Meet the Parents chaos. In an early version, Judy takes a badly injured Nick to her family's house to recover. Seems wholesome, right? But her parents? They misread the situation.
Oh, hey, it's my parents. Oh, they're...
As soon as they see Nick, her mom gasps, "Sweet cheese and crackers, he's your boyfriend?" Nick, of course, plays along. He leans into it, smooth-talking her family and throwing out lines like, "Don't worry, we're just trying to make another bunny." Her dad nearly fainted. It's hilarious, awkward, and classic Nick. But this scene also revealed how intense Judy's dad was in the original script. He was way more controlling and less comic relief than the version we saw in the final cut. Disney scrapped this version because they felt it distracted from the plot, and toned down Judy's family for a lighter, more focused story. After Judy's rough first day on the force, getting stuck with meter duty and mocked by everyone, there was a longer, deeper version of her subway ride back home. In it, she's completely deflated, physically squished by the subway crowd. She gets a call from her mom, who's holding yet another baby bunny. Then her grandpa chimes in and grumbles, "Foxes were made by the devil." Yeah, he said that. Judy tries to shake it off, but her mom chokes up and says, "You're doing something I never thought a bunny could do." When she finally gets home, Judy lies in bed, surrounded by dozens of stuffed animals, childhood dreams stacked around her. It's a moment of doubt, reflection, and quiet heartbreak. The scene was beautiful, but it slowed down the pacing. Disney replaced it with the quicker, punchier version we saw in the final film.
Is this a taming party?
If there's one moment that reveals just how dark Zootopia could have been, it's the deleted tame collar ceremony scene. We meet a young bear cub, dressed up and glowing with excitement, heading into what looks like a coming-of-age celebration, but instead of cake and gifts, he's handed a shock collar, a twisted rite of passage for predators. The moment he jumps with joy, the collar zaps him. Hard. The room freezes. His father kneels in horror. Nick, watching nearby, flinches as his collar starts blinking. He's emotional, and that alone puts him at risk. The message is brutal. Even happiness is dangerous if you're a predator. That level of dystopia? Chilling. Then there's the follow-up scene where Nick removes his collar. But it's not triumphant, it's cold and procedural. He's locked in a cage. The prey doctor wears a hazmat suit and avoids eye contact. When the collar finally comes off, Nick doesn't cheer. He just breathes, quiet, still. It's the first time he's ever felt free. And as he dreams of wild times, a safe place for predators, the scene becomes unexpectedly tender. Moments like these, though cut, showed how Zootopia once aimed to tackle deep, unsettling truths about fear, control, and identity, before Disney toned it all down.
I go up too many dates!
Before Bellwether was the surprise villain, the original bad guy was Mayor Swinton, a powerful pig. One deleted scene briefly introduces her in a high-security office. Judy walks in, and just as she turns to leave, the camera lingers on her tail. Yep, Disney almost gave Judy a butt gag. That, plus tonal issues, got the scene scrapped during rewrites. Right after the Swinton encounter, Judy and Nick have a much darker moment. Judy threatens him, promising she'll track him down and lock him up if he crosses the line. It's cold, tense, and unlike the friendly chemistry we know. This version of Judy was more intense, but Disney softened her personality later on. This one's just pure visual comedy. At the precinct, Judy tries to use a computer designed for elephants. The keyboard is massive. She jumps around to hit the keys. It's like a bunny doing parkour just to type a password. It was funny, but it slowed the pacing. Cut!
You'll be dead! Scorching sandstorm!
Forget the carrot play. In the original opening, Judy's dream of being a cop gets crushed by an actual teacher. The lesson of the day? Some mammals are just better. That's what the teacher tells Judy straight to her face. When a classmate gets stuck in a tree, the teacher hides in a turtle shell. Yes, really. Judy climbs up and rescues him. That's when a real police officer arrives and tells her she's a hero. This scene set up Judy's ambition, but Disney thought it felt too heavy-handed. Instead, they gave us a more emotional start. The Gideon scene, where Judy's dreams get crushed physically by a bully. That version gave her trauma, fear of foxes, and a personal reason to prove herself. There's a whole montage of mini-deleted moments that almost made it. Judy is saluting in full uniform. Heroes running from villains in a shootout. Judy sassily tells Nick, "Care to look again?" A comedy moment with Gideon after he bakes pies. They're fun, but didn't add to the story. Cut for tone, length, and clarity.
Get your popsicles.
These names probably don't ring a bell, but in the early drafts, Klov and Kossoff were major background players. Klov was a recurring comedic predator, while Kossoff was a shady financier who funded Wild Times. In one scene, Kossoff threatens Nick, saying he wants a cut of profits, or else. It added a noir vibe and built up Zootopia's underground predator world. Ultimately, these side plots were scrapped to keep things centered on Judy and Nick's main arc. Zootopia could have been darker, deeper, and maybe even more iconic. But Disney took a safer route and still created a classic. Still, it's wild to imagine what could have been. Which scene do you wish had stayed in the movie? Let us know in the comments. We're just getting started.